कैसा है? ऑल वेल? फिट?
ज्यादा भाग गया तो थोड़ा एक मैच पूरा करा दी तो फिर करा दी बोल लो क्या विशाल ने उतनी गई ना बड़ा है क्या देखिए बेटा एक कपड़ा देखो
मैच आया नहीं यार आपको अभी ना?
भाई सेंटर विकेट ट्रैक कर
भाई सेंटर पे सेंटर पे
यार सेंटर पे नरेंद्र
सेंटर पे सेंटर पे
वो अपडेट होने में टाइम लगता है।
The batsman was short of the crease, but the bails were not dislodged.
बेल्स नहीं गिरने की वजह से बल्लेबाज बचे, नहीं तो ये विकेट मिल गया था। इसको बोलते हैं लक, इसका मतलब टाइटन का लक है। और अच्छी रनिंग बिटवीन द विकेट दोनों ही बल्लेबाजों के बीच।
Pulled away for the first maximum of the match.
इफ्को टोक्यो 6, हंसते रहिए, मुस्कुराते रहिए, इफ्को टोक्यो से इंश्योरेंस कराते रहिए।
That was a short ball on the leg side. Chandan pounced on it, pulled away towards the fine leg fielder for 6.
वाइड गेंद।
Respectfully played back to the bowler. That is the end of over number 1. स्कोर पता चल रहा है क्या मेरे यहाँ पे आ नहीं रहा है. One four. 14 for no loss. First over.
निर्मल कुमार अपना अगला ओवर डालने के लिए तैयार.
Full
Wide ball
toss
का
down the leg. Wide call by umpire. 4 byes.
एक्स्ट्रा के रूप में 5 रनों का इजाफा. Wide +4.
Another wide. This time collected by the keeper. Flicked away towards the fine leg boundary for another bar. 4. Nicely placed in the gap. The ball was drifting down the leg. Batter saw the opportunity, flicked it and placed it in the gap for another boundary. Respectfully played back to the bowler. ओवर के बाद ही बताऊंगा स्कोर. एक से अभी मैंने ये ऑफ किया. मैं सोच रहा था ऑन ऑफ करने के बाद अगर हो जाए आ जाए. Nicely dabbed on the leg side toward the square leg fielder for a quick single. With that, नहीं ठीक है बैठो. Wide down the leg. Respectfully pushed towards the point fielder. That was a short ball. Ramesh tried to steer it to the fine leg third man fielder. Missed to connect. Dot ball. Dabbed on the leg side for a quick single. With that, we come to the end of the 2 overs. At the end of second over, the scoreboard reads 27 runs without loss of a wicket. Wide. This is just a third over of the match, and we already have 15 extras run. Respectfully played towards the short cover fielder. No run. Flicked away nicely in the gap for a single. Chandan back on strike. Smashed down the ground towards the long on fielder for a single. Which brings Ramesh sir on the strike. There was a faint edge. The keeper failed to grab onto that opportunity, resulting in a quick single for the batters. Another wide, another extra. Fuller length delivery. Batter tried to smash it down the ground, missed to connect, but batters run buys, one by. Short ball. Ramesh tried to steer it down to the fine leg. End of 3 overs. The scoreboard reads 33 runs for the loss of 0 wicket. Smashed hard towards the deep mid wicket fielder for a single. Nicely guided to the point fielder for single. Very thoughtful batting by Ramesh, giving strike to the more aggressive batter. Fuller and delivery, wide call by umpire. That takes the extras to 18. Chandan on 13, Ramesh on 5.
चौथा और 18 एक्स्ट्रा हो गए.
Pulled away toward the square leg fielder for single.
टॉप स्कोरर है फिलहाल वाइड्स एक्स्ट्रास मतलब एक्स्ट्रास फिलहाल टॉप स्कोरर
Flicked away toward the square leg fielder for a single. Hit hard, down the ground, up in the air, fielder below it. He drops it. It was high in the air on towards the long on boundary. Fielder managed to come in between, in below the ball. Could not hold on to the ball. Smashed hard. Long on runs and saves, just keeps it down to single. That is the end of fourth over. By end of fourth over, the scoreboard reads 41 runs without loss of wicket. These being the semi-final, it is a 15-over match. One more or go to power play. And that's bold. Clean bold. That was a fuller length delivery. Chandan went for a drive. It took the inside edge of the bat and the ball cracked on his off stump. Tigers draw the first blood. I would say the Tigers have pounded the flesh of a pound of the flesh. Chandan gone on aggressive 17 from 12 ball. Anurag Shukla is the new batter. Another young and aggressive batter. Kanish to continue. Fuller length delivery. Narrowly missed the stump. Driven hard. Down the ground. Long on cuts it off. Keeps it to the single. That single brings Ramesh on the strike for the first time against Kanishk. Full toss. Smartly flicked away for single. That's the hallmark of Rames's batting. You just cannot keep away him from the runs. Driven hard. Back to the bowler. That was a bump. Dot ball. Anurag showing his intent clear. Driven towards the mid-on fielder. 1 run. It was a very good over for Kanishk. 1 over, 3 runs, and a prize wicket of Chandan. With the end of 5th over, the scoreboard reads 44 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. With that, we also come to the end of power play. The current run rate is 8.8 and the projected score as of now is 132. Hydration break for the batters. Though it's a winter afternoon, it's been quite hot today. Unlike Novembers of Delhi and Gurgaon, no matter there's a hydration break taken, no wonders. Captain Pankaj setting his field. For aggressive Anurag Shukla, ensuring that every fielder is precisely placed at his position. Fuller length delivery, wide call by umpire. Dheeraj is the bowler. Batsman comes down the ground, takes it on the full, drives it towards the mid-off fielder. Pankasan standing there, keeps it to the single. Slow ball, Fuller length delivery. Another Fuller length delivery. The ball took the outside edge to the third man fielder for a single. Full toss, driven round the ground. No chance for the fielder. And it's maximum from Anurag Shukla. That was full on the offer. And the batter took full advantage of that. It pierced the fielding between deep mid-wicket boundary and long off fielder. Another full toss, another drive, this time between long on and long off. Result the same. Another maximum. Dheeraj paying the cost for keeping it too full to Dheeraj. Both full toss. There's an urgent announcement for the vehicle HR 26 DG 4494. Full delivery, driven back to the long on fielder, this time cut off for the single. Coming back to the announcement, urgent announcements for the Maruti Ciaz HR 26 DG 4494. The vehicle needs to be removed from wherever it is parked. The vehicle needs to be removed from wherever it is parked. Blue color Maruti Ciaz. With that aggressive batting, end of 6th over, the scoreboard reads 60 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Anurag 16 from 8. Came down the track, tried to smash it, single. Ramesh tried to flick it to the fine leg fielder. Wide called by umpire. Easily dabbed on the offside for a single. Ramesh bats up to the field. He saw a lot of gaps on the offside. Cut, cut hard to the point fielder for single. Dheeraj doing good, allowing the ball to spin and then trying to go and field it. Slow ball, fuller ball, outside off, wide called by umpire. Nicely steered to the point fielder for single. Anurag Shukla cuts it to the point, deep point fielder for two. Easily completed. End of seventh over. The scoreboard reads 68 runs for the loss of one wicket. Ramesh going strong on 10. Anurag Shukla blistering at 20 from 11 deliveries that he faced. But still, the highest scorer of this inning is Extras, which is at 21.
है तो है, मैं क्या करूं?
Left away, left alone. Full toss, gently push for a single. Mehul is the bowler. Anurag to face him. There was an opportunity to cut behind. Opportunity dropped.
सर आपके कॉफी वॉफी कुछ बचाने कोल्ड ड्रिंक कुछ
कॉफी भिजवा दे घर में.
वो दूध
Black,
वाली भी
black,
ज्यादा
black, black, black.
Pushed back to the bowler. No run. Pulled away in the air. towards the deep mid-wicket boundary for another 4. You can't keep Anurag Shukla quiet for long. Last couple of deliveries were dot, and this was coming anytime. It was a short delivery. Anurag went back in his crease, pulled it hard towards the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4. And that's bold, clean bold. It was a fuller ball. It was fast to the air. Anurag was little late to react to it. Went for a drive, but ball was very quick through the air and it kissed the bails. With that wicket, it is end of over 8. 8 overs. The scoreboard reads 73 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Mandatory ball change. Skipper strategizing. Some changes in the field placement. Dheeraj has been given the ball. Dheeraj was little expensive in his first over. Went for 16 runs. Thanks to those 2 towering sixes. Full toss. Gently flick towards the leg side to square leg fielder for a single. As I was saying, this is the hallmark of Ramesh Sir's batting. He exactly places the ball in the gap and gives strike to the more aggressive batter. Swept away towards the square leg fielder. 2 was the call, but fielder was quick to react, limiting it just to 1. Cut towards the third man fielder for a single. Sachin is the batter. Dheeraj to continue. Short ball, pulled away. Kanishk is very fast in the deep square leg boundary, limits it just to 1. Fuller length delivery. Dot ball. gently pushed in the gap between point and covers for a comfortable single. With that single, we come to the end of ninth over. At the end of ninth over, the scoreboard reads 78 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Ramesh sir is batting on 14. Sachin is batting on 2. Mehul is the new bowler. Field is being set. Down the leg. Wide call by umpire. No ball. And that's a free hit. Another wide. The free hit remains. The extras are coming thick and fast. 23 is the score of extra. Another wide. And free hit remains. Captain having a chat with the bowler. Seems like the bowler is unfit to continue. Change of bowler, but no change in the result. Again wide. Buys run by the batters. The free hit continues. Hit hard. Up in there. Landed safely between the fielders. The batter ran for second. No one to back up the throw. There would have been an opportunity, but there was no backup at the bowler's end. And the batsman completes 2 runs. Anurag Shukla was running on the danger end for Ramesh sir. Cut hard to the point fielder. Nicely stopped by Dheeraj for 1. Gently pushed in the wide gap on the offside between covers and point fielder for a comfortable single. No risk at all. That was a nick. Straight in, straight out. It was a clear opportunity. It was a full length ball. Batter nicked it. Keeper failed to gather. Cut through. Covers, fielder comes in, collects and throws it back to the keeper for single. Another wide, another extra. Dot ball to end the over. At the end of 10th over, the scoreboard reads 90 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Ramesh sir is calling for a change of bat. His team members may kindly look into it. The highlights of this inning is apart from Ramesh sir's excellent batting, understanding the field, keeping singles in the gap. The second talking point has to be the extras that the Titans have conceded. The extras is the top scorer of this inning with 28. It is a almost gifted runs from Tigers to the champion team Titan. And when you are up against a champion team like Titans who has aggressive batters and formidable bowling side, you cannot afford to lose so many extras. I'm sure captain would be looking into this. Sachin to face Rakesh Negi to bowl. 11th over in progress. Fuller and delivery. Batter missed to connect it to the bat but ran to the single. Another bowler, another ball, same result, wide down the leg. Another wide down leg. Pulled away towards the deep square leg fielder for single. Another wide. That was a fuller length delivery on the off. Batter wanted to smack it down the ground, missed to connect. Cut hard. There was a nick there. Ball is racing away to the boundary. And it's 4. There is a change in the keeper. Some minor adjustments in the field. Goes for a drive. Ball up in the air. Lands safely. Batter completes 2. With those 2 runs, the Titans have crossed the 100 mark. It is 101 for the loss of 2 wickets. Cut in the air. Dheeraj drops it. Straight in, straight out. Dheeraj was precisely placed at the point. He made a mess out of that catch. At the end of the 11th over, the scoreboard reads 102 for the loss of 2 wickets. Extras counting to 32 in this total. That's a nick. This time, the change of keeper works for the team. The new keeper collects it cleanly. And Sachin goes back to the pavilion. Another young and aggressive batter takes the field. Ranveer Singh is the new batter. Dheeraj to continue. That was hit hard to the deep square leg boundary. Just 1 run. Ramesh sir is steering this ship. He's holding one end. Full length delivery. Gently push towards the point fielder for single. A lot of gaps around the batter, and Ramesh sir is intelligently picking those gaps. Full length delivery, driven hard in the air for maximum by Ranveer. Long on fielder had no chance to cut it off. He tried but failed. Ball went over the ropes for maximum. Wide, this time on the offside. Short ball, cut it. It was going to spin. The batter ran for 2. Comfortably completed. Another wide. Driven hard to the deep mid-wicket boundary for single. That is a end of 12th over. End of 12 over. The scoreboard reads 115 for the loss of 3 wickets. Change of bat for Ramesh sir. He's standing tall between the bowlers of Tigers. Out in the middles ever since the first ball. Playing a role of sheet anchor. Ranveer on strike, connects to continue. Pulled away towards fine leg boundary for single. Nicely flicked down the leg for a quick single. 2 is the call, and they could not make it. An impressive inning by Ramesh sir comes to a tragic end. Cut hard to the point fielder for single. Shiv is the new batter. For the loss of 5 wickets, I'm sorry. Misses to connect the ball. And the batter went for the third run. Daytime robbery, I would call this. Anshul Jagga is the new batter. Pulled hard towards the deep square leg boundary for single. And the scoreboard reads 129 for the loss of 6 wickets. Last over of the inning being bowled. Fuller length delivery, driven down the ground, long